Hi, this is Joanna and I'm Harry. We're games design students at Brunel. Joanna's a third year, I'm a second year. We're here to talk to you today about what it's like to go to Brunel, what it's like to do games design, and show you some facilities.
Yeah, some accommodation. I will take you to my studio flat where I live with my partner.
So Joanna lives in a studio flat, which is a 2-bedroom accommodation. There's also a single bedroom accommodation for people applying. We're going to talk you through the facilities that they all have, and just give you the rundown on what we can get.
You can also see that we have keys to access our rooms. That is because it's very secure. We have another one at the entrance in the building, one at the entrance in the flat, and the door is only activatable by card.
So all the facilities have some form of double lock, whether that's 2 keys or 2 cards. Yeah, they're all pretty secure.
So here is pretty basic. Everything you need. There is a double bedroom because this is a shared flat. We have a bathroom with all we need: a shower, a toilet, and a sink, and it's pretty large for what it is. We also have our own kitchen, which is not something common with rooms. The single rooms have shared kitchens, but they're a lot larger than this. We have this little room. Here's my partner. Say hi, Oscar.
Hello, Oscar.
And we also have a tiny sofa and a desk where most of the work happens. We have also a very nice view to the outside, which is all blue skies and the building next to us. And you see very beautiful sunsets from here.
So there's a mixture of facilities across campus. Some of them have their own kitchens like this one. Some of them have shared kitchens. Most of them have their own bathrooms. Some of them do have shared facilities. So there's a wide range of facilities and prices and stuff across campus. There's also free Wi-Fi across all of campus. So yeah, you can get that.
Yeah.
And Ethernet cables in each room. So if you do have an Xbox or a PlayStation, you want to plug it in, you can.
Yeah. If you have both, you can also do that. What's good about the halls is that they're very well maintained. So every single time you have an issue, they will be very prompt to respond to whatever you're asking them to do. We're going to take the stairs because we want to be healthy today.
So almost all of the facilities have elevators as well. So it's easy access for you who can't use the stairs so well. There's also cleaners for all the communal areas. Joanna, you have a cleaning for your flat as well.
Every 2 weeks there is someone cleaning our kitchen and changing the fan filter so nothing disgusting gets around our food.
You're very well looked after, right?
Yeah.
And how much rent do you pay?
So I think we pay about 218 per week, but that's split between the 2 of us. So that's very low for the area for London.
The single bedroom apartments are a little bit less. Obviously that works out a little bit more per person, but it's quite representative of the rent across campus. One thing that's important about living here is that we are in Greater London, and so rents generally outside of campus quite a lot.
Very expensive. And outside campus, most houses don't have bills included, and the campus does. So the electricity, the water, the internet, you don't have to worry about. And it's just like easy, and you don't have to think about paying them or anything. It's also tax exempt. As a student, you don't have to pay council tax, which is also very good.
And so so basically living on campus, it's available to first, second and third years. So you can
with some priority. First years, if they want a place on campus, they are guaranteed a place on campus. Second years are also, like, everyone is allowed to apply, but second years are the least
least favoured.
Least
but
favourite.
I'm a second year, and there are loads of people on my course that live on campus. So
so it's not impossible basically, but the idea is that you will make enough friends to like find a house, which is also very cool. It's a different kind of experience. I had that last year. It was very fun. It was a lot of us. There were a lot of parties.
So in terms of facilities at Brunel, we've got on campus, 2 shops, a bank, 2 gyms if you want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
What
We
else
have a
got?
bar, Locos.
Yeah.
We have a club, academy. We have a very large library. That's very important. It's a university.
Yeah. There's a huge amount of facilities on Brunel that basically you don't necessarily have to leave if you don't want to. The nearest town, Uxbridge, also has a much wider amount of bars, shops.
Yeah, and a club and very good restaurants. Some of your favorites.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that Uxbridge is on the end of the Metropolitan and Piccadilly line,
Yeah.
which is super useful. So it takes like 45 minutes to get
It
to
does
Central.
take a while, but don't let that discourage you because it's just time you spend in the train. Like it's standard to take the train. It's actually very easy to go to central London.
Yeah.
Though. Like it's not a laborious process.
Yeah.
You just take a bus and then you take the train, and that's it.
One of the best things about having such easy access to London as well means that there's a lot of student events, a lot of gaming events, a lot of networking opportunities in London, and going to Brunel means that we can attend those very easily.
Yeah, for us especially that do games, it means that the heart of the gaming community is obviously in London, in Soho.
Yeah.
And most of the events that do affect us in any way we can attend, which is very nice because it really does matter in your career.
So the game design course is pretty unique in terms of game design courses across the country. Most game design courses they're basically a programming course or an art course with a games twist, but Brunel's one of the few universities that really offers like a fully comprehensive games design course.
Yeah.
So we learn about all those things. We also learn about principles of design. We get the opportunity to make all kinds of games in all 3 years. A board game I made in my first year, I'm actually taking to a board game cafe in the summer. So we're going to get that play tested and make a hi-fi prototype soon. So that's an example of something I did in my first year that's actually going to become a thing.
There's also a lot of opportunities to do something called game jams, and that means that for either 1 or 2 days you get a group of friends and you make a game, and that game can do a lot of things. Ours got acclaimed, so we got 2 awards from the UK Interactive Entertainment. We got the most accessible and the best game last year.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of coverage in that. We also appeared in Edge magazine, which is quite a big milestone for
That's a huge deal.
for someone that is still in university. So there are a lot of opportunities that let you blossom as a designer or as whatever you want to be in this industry, because it's so close to everything and you can attend all of these events.
So we're all about games, right? That's the main thing about game design. We play them, we make them, we critique them, we study them, we do all of it, you know. One of the best things about like the Brunel course is basically the amount of contact time you get with lecturers, and the amount of contact time you get with just being able to study games. We have 24-hour access to our labs, which is actually where we're walking to now.
Yeah.
We'll show you those in a minute. And all our lecturers are based around the labs as well, so we have quite a unique relationship with them.
And they have this thing called an open door policy, which means that every at any point that they're in their office, unless they have an important meeting with someone else and it's confidential, they're gonna have their door open. And if you want to pop in to ask them something or like ask them for help with something, they will always say yes.
Yeah.
And
how would you say, just quickly,
Yeah.
You found in your first couple months moving there, how did the teachers help you? How did the university help you settle into the course? And all of that?
Do you want to start?
yeah, it's funny you ask that, because the first person that I met here was not a student, he was one of my lecturers. Justin, the lead of our entire course, and he was having lunch outside with a third year student, and they were discussing very calmly with each other, and he kind of like introduced me to the kind of social atmosphere we have in the lab. So everyone is equal, everyone's opinions matter, and we're all passionate about the same thing, which makes us have a very strong bond between lecturers and students and all of the other students as well. So I remember that night we spent like 6 or 7 hours just playing board games.
One thing I remember from the initial few weeks at Brunel was how approachable even the second and third years were at the time. We all share the same facilities, so we all share the labs. And what that means is we're all working on stuff at the same time and basically there to help each other at the same time. So when I came in, I felt very welcomed. Everyone was very approachable. Generally, people want to help you make stuff, right? So
Yeah, and nobody is jealous of your work or anything, which is very important too. In the beginning, you may feel strange because when you make art, you have this ownership over it and you don't want people critiquing it. But once you spend a while here, you will understand that people just want you to have the best of your experience and create the best thing you can create. So
one thing that's quite unique to Brunel as well, which is worth pointing out, is that you own all the work you make here. So a lot of universities hold a creative license over the work you do. That's not the case at Brunel.
Yeah.
So at Brunel, any game you make, any prototype you make, any art you do, it's all yours. So you can take it forward.
We are actually encouraged with our third year projects, because we spent so much time on them, on creating them. We are actually encouraged to get them to a level where we can publish them, and we own the IP, so there's no infringement going on, which is very good for us as creators of content, and it's quite unique among universities.
So this is the Gaskell building. As you can see, it's very close to the majority of the residences here. We get 24-hour access to these labs.
During daytime, this is open like this, but usually we have a card that we open the door with, also for security.
So the labs host all our computer facilities. We've also got a range of consoles, an arcade machine, several PlayStations, a few Xboxes, everything that you'd expect basically.
And we also have a room full of board games.
Which we
As
show
a matter of fact.
board games.
We should go first in the labs, I think.
Okay.
There are a few people in the labs working right now, so we can see a little bit of the dynamic.
So we use our cards to get in the labs, so only game design students can access them, so it's pretty secure. And these are the labs.
This is where most of the workshops we have happen, when most of our classes happen as well here.
Yeah.
Because we need to work on computers and what we create.
So in terms of software, obviously we have all the game engines you'd expect on here, Unity, Unreal. We also have a full Adobe suite on here, so Photoshop, Illustrator, audio software like Audition. There's also 3D modeling software.
3D modeling software, and not to mention that we have Microsoft Office for free for the entirety of our studies, which is also very good.
So all Brunel, that applies to all Brunel students actually. So all Brunel students get Office 365 the whole time they're here. So free Microsoft Word, yay!
Basically, there's no excuse for you not to do your work perfectly.
But we're making games, so it's fun, right?
Yeah. We are constantly upgrading everything. If there's something broken, it's getting fixed. We have an arcade machine right there.
Is it right if I have a look?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if it's plugged in.
I don't know if it's plugged in, but like, it's something that you would expect to find in an arcade.
Downstairs in our quiet room, we also have a load of retro consoles.
Yeah.
Things like ZX Spectrum, Sega Mega Drives, old PlayStations. We have modules on retro stuff. We have a historical context module in the first year where we learn about games and their history.
Basically, we're trying to incorporate everything that happened because we want context about the games that we make. So there's no point in repeating this. There's no point in reinventing the wheel, basically.
Right, so now we're going to have a quick look at the board game room. Board games are something else that we do here, mainly in our first year, but you can do a board game project for your third year.
For your third year, yes. In third year, you choose what kind of project you want to do, and they vary a lot. So basically, you can do things like purely art, or you can do game-based learning, or you can do experimental games, which are like wacky, interesting games, commercial games.
If you ever want to come and look at our facilities, we have a load of open days and a load of applicant days throughout the year.
We are actually student ambassadors, so it's likely that you'll run into us.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I will graduate this summer, but obviously Harry would be here for one more year.
If you ever want to check out the dates for those, you can go to our Facebook page, or you can go to the Games Design site on the Brunel homepage, which is brunel.ac.uk/gamesdesign. So
Let's go to the board game room.
do you want to go? So the board game room, like all facilities, is locked off to us, but game design students have the code.
It sounds pretty metal. So, in this room, there is quite a lot of board games.
Yeah.
Those are some of them, which is quite a lot. Board games are pretty expensive, but we get to have such a range. There's more in there as well. And right there, it's not a mess, it's actually a lot of supplies. So what people do here most of the time, they have meetings, and before they make a game digitally, that takes a lot longer. They're gonna plan it out with counters, with dice, with pieces of paper on whiteboards. They're gonna draw and they're gonna make a plan, basically.
That kind of comes back to the whole point of how game design is different at Brunel. At Brunel, we learn about actually the functionality of games, systems, numeric design, and tools like these are all really useful for learning that kind of stuff.
Do you ever get a chance to do this in the social aspect? Is there in society?
So actually, the first term of every year, we have a weekly board game night, which is run
Yes.
every Wednesday.
Yeah.
And first years are very much encouraged to go to that. That's one of the main ways you sort to learn.
There's also a board game society that all students of Brunel can join in. It's up to the society whether or not they do workshop on how to make games. I don't think they do that. At the moment, they just play board games, but that's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Societies at Brunel are numerous. There's societies for pretty much everything. So we have sports clubs, we have games clubs like this one. We also have
cool things like archery or skydiving, which is not something you'd expect. We have a lot of arts.
there's a fencer actually in my ear.
Yeah. We have a lot of art, so we can do everything from pottery to like oil painting, and you get a lot of courses about that. So that's pretty nice. And right now we're going to go talk to one of our lecturers, Talia.
Yeah. So as you mentioned before, all our lecturers are basically in the vicinity of our labs, so they're all really accessible and all really available, as you'll see shortly. So Talia's in here, or?
I'll go look for her. Yeah, she's already in here.
Okay.
So we told her we want to meet with her, and she made time for us, which is usually what happens. They might have other things to do, like meetings, but in that case, they're just gonna email you and tell you when they're free, and you can arrange to meet with them when they are free. Hi, Talia.
Hello. Hi. So I am Talia Deniozu. I am the undergraduate admissions tutor for games design, and I'm a lecturer in games design as well. Welcome to the Games Design Lab. I believe you have already taken a look around to the facilities.
Yes, we have.
So as you can see here, we have different stations for the students to use when they are working on their assessments, and we have a lot of gaming PCs with headsets, graphic tablets, and also different other software that the students can use. And everything that we teach essentially is here on the lab, so people can stay here and work for the assessments. Myself, as the undergraduate admissions tutor for games, I am also a lecturer, and I'm teaching the art component of the module. So essentially I'm teaching modules on character design, concept art, 3D modeling, and 2D animation as well. And this course is actually very, very interesting and very unique because of the fact that we focus on the design of games, so the whole design experience of how games can be created and developed. So essentially, students, when they come in, they have the flexibility to study what really interests them. We have 4 different components to the course. So we have games design, which is about creating rules and concepts for games as well. We have the games theory route, which is all about game studies. We have the art route as well, which is about visuals, asset development, and all the art that goes into games design. And then we have the tech route as well, which is about the technical aspects of the course, and it has to do with programming, game engines, and developing interactive prototypes as well. Now, we think that games design is an interdisciplinary skill, and therefore we teach our students everything that they need to know, all of the different creative and practical skills that they need in order to develop engaging and interactive games. And essentially, we do think that by developing all of these skills, they can become very good games designers in the future and then go into the industry well equipped with all the different skills that they need. And to enhance that, we also have an internship program, a summer internship program, where students can actually go ahead and create a game in 3 months, working with the Octopus 8 Games Design Studio. So essentially they're working in teams, and at the end of the summer they publish the game that they made on the App Store and the Google Play Store as well, which is great because at the end of the degree they are published game designers already basically, which is amazing, and it's a very good portfolio piece for them as well, which is good.
I have actually done that last summer, so going into applying for jobs, which I'm trying to do since I'm third year, I got a lot of feedback on that, and every time I've been to an interview they have told me that the fact that I have something like a published game already, it really sets me aside from the other like entry-level applicants that they have.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
And yeah, if you ever want to come and check out our facilities or chat to some of us, like I said before, we have applicant days and open days, the dates for which are available via our Facebook or via brunel.ac.uk/gamesdesign. Otherwise, I think we're done, guys.
Yeah.
See you at Brunel.
See ya.
See you.
Bye.
Thank you.